and then I'm declaring an array of type int, and the name of array I'm taking as marks. The first dimension will represent the number of rows, which I'm taking as 3, and the second dimension will represent the number of columns, which I'm taking as 2. So the number of data elements which the array will contain will be the multiplication of rows and columns, that is 3 multiplied by 2, that gives 6. So 6 will be the number of elements present in marks array. Now I'm going to add elements using the indexes. Row number, that is row index, and the column index. We will be using row index and column index. So this will be first row. Second row will again be containing 2 columns. So this will be second row. So as there are 2 columns, the index will be 0 and 1. As there are 3 rows, the row indexes will be 0, 1 and 2. So let's give indexes now for the row first. So first row will be having the index 0, second row will be having the index 1, third row will be having the index 2. Now each row contains 2 columns. So I'm giving the column index as 0 and 1 for the first row. Then for the second row again 0 and 1, and for the third row again 0 and 1. So column index will remain same in all the rows because there are 2 columns, but there are 3 rows. 1 then contains 2 columns, 3 and then contains 2 columns. So that is 0, 1 and 2 are the indexes. First, second and third, 1, 2 and 3 are the positions of rows. Now I'm giving the elements like 89, 78. Always end the statement with semicolon, otherwise we get an error. Now to print the array, I'm going to use for loop. I less than the number of rows, that is 3. There are 3 rows and then again I plus plus. So this for loop will be used to print the rows. For each row, 2 columns will be printed, which we are using a inner for loop. 2 columns. So here I'm using another variable j, which I'm giving initial value 0 until j less than 2, that is number of columns, and j plus plus. So this is the for loop, and now I'm going to print the array using printf. And here using printf, the array name is marks, and there are 2 dimensions. So rows are represented using I, row index is I, and column index is j in this manner. Now for each row, that is for the first row, that is 0th row, that is this one, 2 columns will be printed, that is 89 and 78. And after the first row, we want a change of line. For that, I'm giving printf and slash n. So after every row is printed, it gets cursor to new line and then prints the next row. If we write this printf after the second for loop, inner for loop. Now I'm going to compile and then now I'm running the program. So this gives me first row, second row and third row.